There comes a moment in every life when we find ourselves standing on the edge of something greater than what we have known, a realization that our limitations are not etched into stone but are born of our own beliefs. Mind over matter is more than a title, it is a spiritual call to awaken to the incredible power that lies within our thoughts, our focus, and our capacity to shape the very fabric of our reality. It's not a book about controlling the outside world, it's about mastering the inner one. It invites us to explore the hidden architecture of the mind and teaches us how the intangible world of thoughts, emotions, and intention can shape the tangible world around us. The book opens with the simple yet profound truth that the mind is not merely a tool for thinking, but a bridge, a sacred link, between who we are now and who we are capable of becoming. Our thoughts are not passive reflections of reality. They are creative forces that mold experience. Every dream that was ever built, every mountain ever climbed, every soul who dared to heal or to overcome, began with a single thought. The first key insight mind over matter offers is that the world we experience begins within us. It's not what happens that defines us, but how we interpret, respond to, and grow from it. The mind becomes the lens, and through it, we either see a prison of limitation or a horizon of possibility. One of the most moving sections of the book dives into the story of a young woman named Elise, a dancer who suffered a spinal injury that doctors said would end her career. For months, she lay in a hospital bed, her body failing her, while her spirit teetered on the edge of despair. But Elise refused to surrender her identity to the prognosis. She began visualizing herself dancing every night in her mind. She saw her legs moving, felt the rhythm of the music, rehearsed mentally with the same intensity she once brought to the studio. Her doctors called it wishful thinking, but Elise called it training. After a year, against all odds, she walked again. And later, she danced, not just as a physical feat, but as a testimony to the power of intention. Her story serves as a living example that the mind, when focused with clarity and fueled by belief, can turn impossibilities into milestones. The book invites us to examine our beliefs, for they are the scripts running beneath the surface of our daily lives. We often underestimate the grip of silent, inherited beliefs: I'm not good enough, success isn't for people like me, change is too hard. These ideas become like foggy glass, distorting how we see ourselves and the world. Mind over matter teaches that we are not obligated to accept every thought as truth. Instead, we are called to become conscious authors of our own narrative. Through mindfulness, affirmations, and emotional honesty, the book guides us to challenge, reframe, and ultimately replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. But belief is only one part of the equation. The book also speaks deeply about emotion, not as weakness, but as energy. Our emotions, it says, are the language of the soul. When we feel joy, peace, or gratitude, we align our frequency with abundance. When we carry resentment, fear, or shame, we vibrate at levels that draw more of the same. The concept is simple but life-changing: what we feel, we attract. This is not magical thinking, it's energetic alignment. Real-life stories throughout the book illustrate this vividly. One such tale is of a man named Darren who lost everything in a financial crash. Instead of sinking into bitterness, he chose to approach each day with thankfulness for the smallest things: a warm meal, a stranger's smile, a sunrise. Within a year, he not only rebuilt his life but found a deeper sense of meaning. Darren didn't change the world around him first. He changed the emotional climate within himself, and the external began to reflect that shift. Mind over matter does not promise a life without pain. Rather, it acknowledges that hardship is part of the human experience. But it gently insists that our suffering need not define us. It teaches that in every challenge, there lies the seed of potential. The story of Sophia, a cancer survivor, is a compelling reflection of this. In her darkest moments, she began to meditate not on her illness but on her vitality. She visualized her cells healing, flooding her body with white light. She wrote daily letters to herself from the perspective of her healthy, future self. And in time, her body responded. Whether one sees this as a miracle, a mind-body connection, or something else entirely, what remains undeniable is that Sophia chose to empower her mind even as her body weakened, and that inner strength became her path to healing. The book also explores the power of focus. In an age of constant distraction, learning to focus our mental energy is a revolutionary act. Focus, as described here, is not just about attention, it's about intention. It's choosing where to place your consciousness and keeping it there with discipline. Just like a magnifying glass can channel sunlight to ignite fire, our focus, when sustained, can light up possibilities that once seemed out of reach. The author shares techniques such as mental visualization, daily affirmations, breathing exercises, and gratitude rituals, all designed to help us reclaim the wandering mind and anchor it to what truly matters. Another profound lesson in the book is the sacred relationship between thought and action. Thinking alone is not enough. We must marry our thoughts with effort. Mind over matter does not mean wishful passivity, it means aligning your inner world so deeply with your goal that your actions naturally begin to follow. The mind prepares the soil, but it is through action that we plant and nurture the seeds. Many readers have resonated with the story of Luis, a formerly overweight man who visualized himself as an athlete every morning before even stepping into a gym. Over months, this mental identity shift translated into physical changes, healthier choices, consistent workouts, better sleep. The body began to reflect the mind. As the book moves towards its final chapters, it offers a beautiful message about self-compassion. Often, when we embark on personal transformation, we bring with us harsh inner critics. We scold ourselves for not being there yet, but mind over matter gently reminds us that growth is not a straight line. There are setbacks, moments of doubt, plateaus. But none of these mean failure. They mean we're in motion. We are called not just to change ourselves, but to love ourselves through the process of becoming. The voice of the book is nurturing, almost like a friend holding your hand through the storm, whispering, "You are doing better than you think. Keep going." The final message is one of personal power and sacred responsibility. Once we realize that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape our world, we can no longer live unconsciously. We can no longer blame others for our patterns, nor wait passively for rescue. The mirror is turned inward, and in that reflection, we find both the problem and the solution. But rather than feel overwhelmed, we are inspired. Because the power has always been ours. We are not at the mercy of circumstance. We are creators, architects, spiritual artists, painting our lives with the colors of our consciousness. In the end, mind over matter leaves us not just with knowledge, but with a calling, to live awake, to think deliberately, to feel deeply, and to act with aligned purpose. It asks us to become the calm in our own storm, the light in our own darkness, and the master of our own mind. The external world may twist and shift, but within us lies a still point, a sacred space where all change begins. From that space, everything becomes possible. Let these teachings settle in your heart. Let them guide your next breath, your next choice, your next morning. You have within you the power to rise, to heal, to create. The matter is not greater than the mind. And your mind, when nourished with truth, belief, and courage, is limitless.